Вот тут все говорят про атом, что мы тут живем. А мы этого не боимся. Ничего, абсолютно не боимся. Не, и люди даже ничего. Люди. Я одне говорю, что если бы она для народа плоха была, народ тут не селили бы. Мне сейчас 74 года. Я с 1899 года. 74 года. Но такой жизни я не видал. Не, мы того бояться не будем.
Я увидел передачу о Припяти городе.
Что мы поедем строить Чернобыльскую АЭС.
Здесь мы почистимся, уберемся, расставим лавочки. И этот уголок, сохранив, он будет...
Скажем, есть комплекс школ, а объединяя несколько школ, у одной школы может быть какой-то плавательный бассейн, которым сейчас пользуется весь город и все школы возраста. Плавают лучше, чем взрослые.
И ни один город такого типа, как наш, по площади, по населению не имеет столько детей.
Сейчас у нас 4-комнатная квартира. С рождением Димы мы с 2-комнатной перешли в 4-комнатную квартиру.
Везде ли готовы ради них перепроектировать целый район?
Что атомная станция за период времени очень чистая. И берег Припяти. Прекрасные пляжи, прекрасная рыбалка, очень хорошая река, быстроходная, чистая, значит, грибы кругом. Отпуск проводим только здесь. В общем, все у нас очень прекрасно и нормально.
Помните старика в начале фильма, который атома не боялся? А ведь знал о нем наверняка не так уж много.
There has been a nuclear accident in the Soviet Union, and the Soviets have admitted that it happened.
The Soviet Union has suffered one of the worst disasters in the history of nuclear power.
One of the atomic reactors at the Chernobyl atomic power plant near the city of Kiev was damaged.
And soldiers are still trying to control the reactor fire.
Some considerable amount of radioactivity dumped into the surrounding area.
Massive quantities of radiation have apparently been released.
It does now seem likely that sometime in the last couple of days there's been perhaps the worst accident in the short history of the world's nuclear power industry.
The Soviet version is this.
An official announcement from the Council of Ministers. Help is being given to the victims of the accident.
But the Americans say casualties were higher. 100 were taken ill, 18 seriously.
200 people have radiation injuries, and between 20 and 25 people are critically ill.
Maybe 50,000 people.
A town of around 50,000 people.
49,000 people have been evacuated and will not be able to return to their homes in the near future.
Значит, вы выезжаете в Припять? Алло? Да, я слышу. На атомную станцию выезжаете. Там третий, четвертый блок горит крыша.
That Soviet nuclear accident in the Ukraine created fallout today in Chicago.
The radioactive cloud affected many countries in Eastern and Western Europe.
Some people in Sweden this morning, and they indicate an enormous amount of radioactivity must have gotten out of the power plant.
18 days before the Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev made any public pronouncement on the nuclear disaster at Chernobyl.
Finally, he said, the message from Chernobyl is clear.
This is one more tolling of the bell and a new terrible warning that in the nuclear age, what is needed is new political thinking and new policies.
The danger will have abated rapidly once you get away from the radius of maybe some tens of miles.
That radioactivity around the nuclear plant was still high, and he said, there is a dangerous zone which people cannot enter.
I think pretty much everyone has heard of Chernobyl, understands technically what it was. Kind of was the obvious place that I wanted to go to. Been a goal of mine for years. Ever since I was about 10 years old, I had this envision of going to an abandoned city that just really appealed to me. I think it appeals to pretty much any kid. And obviously as you get older, you learn more about it and you realize there's a lot more complications involved. And it's not as easy as just going from point A to point B. You actually have to plan this. You have to have a guide. You have to have all these things in line that require this. And on top of that, you have to then walk nearly 50 kilometers just to get to it. Mounds of different terrain, mounds of different obstacles. It starts to seem like it becomes more and more difficult to actually achieve getting to the place. There are certain parts that are highly radioactive and just seconds of exposure could be fatal. Other places have lower radiation, lower than probably your house. As at the time, I currently live in Europe, so it was more of like an opportunity to go and experience it because it was much more closer to me than it ever has been. Back in 2020, we were gonna go. We had everything planned, everything thought out, and then COVID struck. Killed everything. It canceled flights, posed restrictions to where even if you wanted to walk to the country, good luck. It was rebooked 3 times in 2020, and all of which were canceled. Naturally, in most cases, the hardest thing for most people when they travel would just be getting into the country and the logistics of it. Not only did we have trouble getting into the country, getting a flight that wouldn't cancel to get us to the country, getting gear, food, equipment, non-essential stores that just simply aren't open in a lockdown period, and it made everything that much harder to do.
Try to put your ankle on it. What are you thinking, Matt?
I'm thinking that way.
What do you think about our failures today?
I'm saying positive. I think it's going to be good, and I think it'll be good.
Are you kind of depressed because of the walking?
Yeah, a little bit of the walking, but it's not too big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to do any more because of tomorrow. I got a question for you. You speak Russian?
What? Yes, ask.
I don't know how to. They obviously aren't going to know what the hell I'm saying. You just get change. I just need 2 20s, 1 10. Is that possible?
Yeah, of course it is.
Thank you, dude.
Last time when I was in Pripyat, lifestyle not really joined me.
What was the last time you were in? Last year?
Yeah.
Sopa. That's how you say it in Spanish. Sopa. Sopa.
Обережно, двері зачиняються.
The morale was pretty high for everyone. It was, we're going to actually do this. And Misha, I'm so thankful for him because he was able to get us all of the gear that we needed, including alpine food, which is critical to eat. So I think on the 3rd day in, we decided to go to the zone. So Misha phoned up the stalker taxi, basically a car. So he pays someone anonymously, and he or she then brings you to the zone entrance, drops you off, and then you start walking.
We got 3 of us in the back, and my bag wouldn't fit, so...
Current is really fucking strong. It'll just float, you can float the mattress away.
We're on a road right now in the middle of the night, and I just remember looking down at my phone and just watching the bars just go down from 4, 3, 2, 1 to no service. The driver said 60 seconds, meaning we had to get all of our stuff ready to go. Pretty much at exactly 30 seconds, he switches off the lights, stops the car, unlocks the door, and we're just out and we're sprinting into the woods.
Is it stressful, Matt?
Well, not right this second, but yeah. It's okay.
First impressions?
Pretty sick. Pretty
sick. This is fucking messy.
It is.
I expected it a different way.
Intense.
All Gucci.
Alright, gang, guys.
Okay. Yeah. No problem, bro. We follow you.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Gotta keep going.
Yeah. Get our stuff out, get situated, get our red lights. And there was like this aspect of paranoia, like we would hear the trees with the wind creaking and croaking with these tall trees. Because of where you were, it seemed to be that much more eerie.
So, Matt, how do you compare these initial kilometers to your walks when you practiced for Chernobyl?
The terrain. When I walk, I'm walking on like, even though it's in the woods, it is like a paved path. Although a lot harder on your feet, so much easier, better constant like speed to where you want to get. The same distance on that is a lot less tiring than carrying something that weighs 25, 30 kilos at least. Doing that at night.
And also
all through this terrain.
Also the unexpected factor, like
the environment, you got the people, you got a bunch of different things, and all that sums up into one thing, and I think that is what makes doing the stalker route such a unique and interesting thing. The first night was painful. That's all I can describe. It was just, we walked at least 15 kilometers. We had gotten there pretty much 10:30 at night into the zone, and we had to, by the time the sun rose at 5 in the morning, get across what was called Ambush Bridge. We first started walking through pine trees, cutting ourselves up, stinger plants, thorns, just really nasty terrain. And I was walking with Misha. Misha and I were in the front, and I was starting to feel dizzy because it was dark, you were disoriented, you were exhausted. Once we got across the bridge, I feel that the morale was really high as we accomplished something that was really critical within the journey. But we were so exhausted at the time that we walked about 200-300 meters into the woods, and we just collapsed. We put our sleeping pads out, put our sleeping bags out. We didn't even eat. We went straight to bed. I don't think any of us had ever been that tired in our entire lives. I promise you that.
I like how the how smartphones have like GPS even though there is no signal.
We're basically here and we're going there. And it's about 15 miles or so, but we already did that much like last night, I think.
So we followed, this is the checkpoint, we made a right.
Oh yeah, because then we followed this road.
Misha,
Yeah,
why do people go to the zone?
there are no place in the world where you can meet abandoned town like a Pripyat. The terrain, the hiking zone is just challengeable for you.
Yeah.
You can understand how strong you are.
We walked through a lot of fields, a lot more forest, and then we kind of intercepted what's called a stalker highway, which is a power line. And this power line we just basically followed for at least another 10-15 kilometers.
Good news, Michelle. Easier to walk a road.
Awesome, so we're gonna follow it down there for a little while.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Finally we found this road. Oh, whoa. We found the road.
So Michelle, what are you expecting during this trip?
What I'm assuming to be like a big cluster of like abandoned buildings.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. It's not going to be like anything I've ever experienced back home.
Definitely.
I'm looking forward to it.
Misha?
I can understand who is this.
Hide.
Yes, behind the first tree. So we're just hiding right now.
He had binoculars. He saw them from afar.
Yeah, Misha's gonna go speak to. So we're just gonna chill here for a little bit longer, wait for Misha.
So what do you think about the first encounter with people, Matt? It is what it is.
It's like, even though it was nothing, you gotta be safe because
It's better safe than sorry.
You don't want to take no chances.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's come closer to them.
Interesting.
Oh, we get to meet them?
Yeah. Несколько раз французов упаковали.
Hi guys.
Hi, speak English?
Yeah. Do you?
Maris.
Where are you guys from?
Nico?
Kiev.
Locals.
So how was your trip? You're on your way back?
Duga, if you know.
Just Duga, not Pripyat.
Just Duga, not Pripyat.
No,
Standing right there, just stopped for like 15-20 minutes. We don't know about, like, did it leave or not. We just crossed the road and ran here. Few buses.
Like tourist buses?
Yeah, like tourist buses. Not even much tourists near.
Ну,
мы думаем, может, утром полезть.
Yeah.
So this is just a day trip for you guys?
Huh?
This is just a day trip?
Yeah, just day trip.
Wow.
Можно вопрос задать?
Да, конечно.
Почему вы ходите в зону?
Ну, во-первых, здесь тихо, здесь хорошая природа и впечатление. Потому что в первый раз, когда мы пошли, это было лучшее, что произошло за тот год.
Ага.
Да. Я понял, что теперь она меня, короче, не отпускает.
Понял. Сколько раз уже был?
Я третий, Лев пятый.
Do you speak английский?
Очень плохо. Потому что, ну, типа...
At this point, we were really close to Pripyat. We could see Dugov to our left, and our goal was more towards our right, which was towards Pripyat. The morale was super high, really happy that we were gonna get there. We were still aware that there were consequences, but I think we became a little more complacent, sadly. And this is what led to our failure.
Down.
We kind of just all stopped basically right next to the road, and we were taking photos of Duga in the distance. And we made the most rookie mistake. We stayed on a road too long. We hear the reverse gear just wind backwards when a car like accelerates really fast in a reverse gear, flooring it towards us in the field. And we just get up, we scram, and we start sprinting into the woods. We were paralleling woods that was right next to a road. So they were just wearing us out in a car. By the time I realized that the car had already intercepted us, it was too late because we had already ran for at least probably half a mile with these heavy backpacks. Keep in mind, we had just walked nearly 40 kilometers between the day before and today. We were absolutely exhausted.
Пиздец.
Пиздец, блядь.
Пиздец.
I'm very disappointed.
We all agreed that it was kind of a group's mistake, but you can't help but feel responsible on your own sometimes for not saying something, not speaking up. They told us we had to get a hotel in the town of Chernobyl, and we all kind of looked at each other like, Chernobyl hotel? We're in Chernobyl, and that is lower background radiation, 0.14 microsieverns per hour. That is lower background radiation than my room at home. I lost all my footage, unfortunately, but I wanted to take out the SD card to hide it, and I put it in a spot that I thought was all right, but when I checked, it was not there. It's in the spot where we were picked up. So that's kind of where we're at, guys. I've lost all my footage, but I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make Chernobyl, Pripyat happen. The guards actually had to stay with us overnight. Kind of felt bad, and instead of letting them in the lobby just sit there and kind of have to sleep on a chair, we offered them to come in our room. The guys offered them drinks, and they all kind of drank with the guards, and people were starting to drink. I think the truth came out a bit more and more of like the guards' honest opinion. So the guards voluntarily told us that they feel, realistically speaking, it's nonsense why they have to capture stalkers, why they have to chase after people who only care about the zone. And it's really interesting to see like their honest opinions on it, or their drunk opinions on it, should I say. But not everything people do is because they necessarily want to. It's more so sometimes because they're obligated to. Well, you guys wanted to be in Chernobyl. I promised you guys Chernobyl. Welcome to Chernobyl, the town of Chernobyl. Oh, your blood.
Wow.
You cross the bridge or you cross the river?
River.
No, you like it.
What do you say? It's saying that stalkers are giving up when they going back, and they go to them and give up, saying like, accept us because we won't.
Oh, please? Seriously,
Yeah.
what?
That's true. It's not bluff. It's not bluff.
Like taxi, Uber.
There is a conspiracy someone burned the forest so that they could write off the trees off the register for illegal logging. That's a theory. But that's just a theory.
Ask him, do they think it was stalkers who did it, or do they think it was the illegal loggers?
А что вы думали, это поджигали типа сталкеры или лесники нелегальные?
Не сталкеры.
Это не сталкеры.
Не сталкеры.
Yeah.
Есть.
No, these guys are cool. These guys are cool. I respect that.
We drive on the highway that we walked not really more than a night and a half ago. Crazy to think that in a car you could be out of there in 45 minutes, but it takes you a day and a half to walk.
How you feel right now, bro?
I feel amazing enough for reading rap.
You're already forgetting about Pripyat, yes?
I'm forgetting
Don't
about
mention,
it.
motherfucker.
Don't ever mention that shit to me again.
Pripyat,
That shit didn't even happen.
Chernobyl,
I just meant to be
I
there.
don't know what
I
that
just
is.
meant to be there. Do you understand, fucking motherfuckers?
One door closes, a dozen more open.
Da.
It's over only if we say it's over. It's not over. It's not over.
So then what are we doing? Checkmate. What's the plan?
What's the plan? Get fucking KFC. Tomorrow train surfing. How's that sound?
Осторожно. We realized we wanted to make something fun out of this trip. We wanted to make it memorable. You don't want this to be a memory and just look back on it as a complete failure.
Обережно, двері зачиняються.
2 hours Friday.
Sounds good.
Homeless people.
How do you feel, bro? Happy. I'm so happy, right? Yeah. Хорошо, yeah? Yeah. Good, bro. Sick. How do you feel, bro?
I feel amazing enough, motherfucker.
Yes, good. Better than shit.
I feel fucking amazing, dude.
Yes. Say we needed this after getting caught, man.
They fucking did.
And you know what? We're coming back in a few months and we're doing Pripyat. Yeah. Fucking doing Pripyat. Left foot, there you go. Oh, блядь. Блядь. Into the woods we go.
For our friendship, for our next exploration, it will definitely become for everything what is considered good.
Yes.
For you guys.
Okay.
And for an opportunity to have a mutual exploration with you. And thank you for everything. I appreciate it.
Cheers. I love you, boys.
Okay.
Alright, peace, bud.
Bye. Staring off in his face again, dude. That's good.
See ya.
Yeah, see ya.
Okay, good night, dude.
And then now it's just the three of
Just
us.
the three.
When the date came to finally go back to our home countries, I knew in my mind, obviously, I was going to go back and do it, but it's just now even more uncertainty when you come back and you do something when you've already failed at it the first time. It makes it almost that much worse. It was constantly on my mind, just being in Chernobyl. It was just in my subconscious. I realized that we have to make this happen. It's like putting a biscuit in a dog's face, and then right as it's about to bite it, you just yank it away and never give him it. Right as we were planning the new trip to try to do this again, we were smacked with a new law that was trying to be implemented with the zone. Due to the forest fires the year before, there was a lot of controversy as to who started the fire. They were trying to really use that as an example when trying to pass this legislation that basically makes it a criminal offense to trespass within the Chernobyl exclusion zone. This affects everyone I remember Misha, we were sending audio messages back and forth to each other, and we were talking about this, and I just remember one audio message, he just sounded so incredibly depressed and sad, like his whole world had just been crushed right under him. It really means everything to him, to guides, to people who go to Chernobyl. To do that, you have to really care about the zone, and to say that these are the people that are causing security issues within the zone or causing fires, I personally think is absurd.
I really hope that after it everything will stabilize, because for me zone is more than just one time visiting. It's for me it's every year I visit zone, and it's part of my life. I will not be able to live without the fucking zone. So I'll be honest, it's bullshit for everyone.
I remember I slept on it, and the next morning I told everyone, let's just book our tickets. This is the last opportunity we're gonna maybe have. If that legislation then passes in the fall, the time came to go, and within 3 days, I get a text from Misha. He stepped on a nail. Do you know, the first thing in my mind was, I hope he's all right. But then immediately after that was, wow, that's it. We're screwed, we can't do it. This is life. This is what life can do. And whether you like it or not, I can sit here and I can cry about it, or we can actually do something to change this and make this maybe a success, or at least an attempt. And that's really what I was aiming for, at least an attempt. We were realistically about to do something that most people would never dare attempt. Go to the Chernobyl exclusion zone without really any prior experience of it ever going successful, on your own with no guide. And that is exactly what we did. Yo. What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh.
Nice to meet you, man. How you doing, man?
Nothing, we're just discussing about the zone. This is Oleg.
Nice to meet you, dude.
Do you want to go on the roof?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Look, if it was anywhere else, I'd question it. But I'm not going to question it. I think they just didn't take the keys.
Hello.
Всем привет.
Not so loud.
Smile for the camera.
Добрый вечер.
Добрый.
Вы с крыши сюда пришли?
Нет.
Нет, вы через эту дырку, да?
Да. He said you could have just asked for the key.
Seriously? I love Ukraine, man. Okay, so to keep this simple, the guy was just saying to us, if you wanted to go to the roof, you could have just asked for the key, and he would have given it to us. Sick.
He went to the checkpoint.
So that's what they see at the checkpoint in Chernobyl.
Yeah, look.
Oh, sick. He was caught, so they took him and he could see the monitor. Not a bad way to end the day. I am hungry. Tomorrow's going to be the day for prepping and planning, and then hopefully entering the zone in the evening for round 2. This is going to be interesting, guys. It's going to be real interesting. There's a bunch of circumstances that are up in the air right now, and I don't know. I hope it plays out differently, but we're going to see. Either way, we're here, and we're going to attempt it, even if we got to go on our own. That's the bottom line. If we don't try, we'll 100% fail. That's the way I look at it. So let's just enjoy the view for now. So we do it again. We get a taxi. We get to a different drop-off point, one where we have to actually cross the river, which the river does not connect at all to the Pripyat River, which connects to the reactor. So it's a completely separate river. Привет. Здорово.
We'll give it a shot. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, Ivan gets back there.
Amerikanski blat. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Спасибо. See you soon. Okay. This way. Mosquitoes are horrible. They're freaking huge. Almost to the river, guys. Yeah. I'd say just keep going through there. You okay? Oh, wow. This is something else in the summer. Блять. Almost there. Almost there. Yes. Okay. Guys, that was at least a kilometer. That temperature's like 30 Celsius. That's like 90 Fahrenheit. That was horrible. Let's just get to the river. That's all I'm thinking about right now. Oh boy. Yes, here it is, guys. I've heard certain tips that there's potential ambushes, so we must be very careful. Parallel it for a little bit, and then we can cross. It's like I'm at the beach. Time to get naked. Okay! Chernobyl, блядь! Oh, suka! Okay. I can't. That's as far as I can go. I'll support the back. Just, yep. Yeah. Thank you. Let me help Michelle. You good?
Yeah, I think my phone got wet, so it might be broken.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Got it. Got it. Okay. All right, guys. So started the long march again. We're crossing this kind of like semi-open field, but over there it's kind of hard to see with the shrub in the way. But there's like this collapsed building, or this collapsed. I'm not really sure what it is. We don't want to go too close to it. We don't know anything about it, so see how far we can get for the night. I'll tell you what though, that bath felt nice. What do you think? Yeah, it's pretty good.
He's like, no camera.
Where did you get that apple?
Dude, I wish I recorded him just pulling it off.
What, in the Chernobyl exclusion zone?
He literally just pulled it off the tree. I thought it was it good? Was it sweet?
But Chernobyl.
Yeah, the longer we sit, the sore I feel.
Pretty normal. I mean, my house is 0.18, so it's pretty good. It's actually below what my house is right now, the radiation. I would protest against eating anything in this exclusion zone, but it's your funeral at the end of the day. And there we go. You have life insurance?
It's good!
You want some pepper? He's stopping for more berries, guys. Oh boy. Yeah, boy. They smell nice as heck, and if I was anywhere else in the world, and I literally mean anywhere else in the world, I would eat it.
I offered you in Switzerland.
Because I couldn't tell what those are. Those are clearly raspberries. You were eating like some weird bush that had like a red bulb at the end of it. Some of those poison berries.
Is it alright?
The road then forks off again to the northeast, if that makes sense, and then it intercepts the power line. So around the route now, it's probably about, I'd say 2 miles to the power line. So all the sand here was used because back in early 2020, a lot of you probably know that there was unfortunately a forest fire. Recently, what they've done to prevent the spread of forest fires if there was another outbreak is they put down sand. If there was fire coming from that end, it doesn't let it go to that end or tries to reduce the amount that will. But the sun's starting to set. It's about 1.5 miles to the power lines. Checkmate and I both agree that the best thing to do is really try to cross the road at night. The only thing is we are very tired, so we're gonna see how far it is and if we feel like we can make it. Wow, it's huge. You can actually hear the electricity flowing through it. As you can tell, I am exhausted as well as everyone else here. I got Checkmate there, Michelle there. We've gotten to the power lines, we've crossed the road. We're about, would you say about 1 kilometer after the road?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say about a kilometer. And we're basically just right now sleeping in a bush. And we're gonna have some food, set up camp, and then get a really good night's sleep, or try to, at least. So let's get that set up. E equals the I also got salt and pepper. Having some meat with raisin and barberry. Just having some food right now. It's really good. You try to sleep a decent amount.
I think you didn't put enough water in mine. Well, mine came out like mashed potatoes.
Mine's kind of like mashed potatoes as well.
Damn, bro, you good?
Yeah, chili. You're gonna get some sleep. Say good night. Доброй ночи.
How much?
0.52 in climbing. 0.6. Let me change the threshold.
What's like dangerous level?
Thousands.
All right, keep moving. Over there in the distance, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see what looks like a dome, and that is the cooling tower for reactor 5, which was the new reactor that was being built during the disaster, but once it happened, obviously was abandoned. We've kind of realized we're not going to go through the Red Forest because we don't want the radiation to go any higher. But what we are going to do is we're going to do something similarly sketchy, but we're going to walk on the side of one of the non-active roads and listen out for car. If it comes, we got to duck, but we don't want to obviously risk it with radiation, so that's what we're going to have to do in a little bit. So just keep walking to the spot. Look at this, as soon as we step on concrete, we're down to 2.6.
Nice.
And this is the road we got to turn left on, but I don't like the looks of this one. I don't like the look of it even more compared to the one we're just leaving. Okay, the reason why we ran is we were the last 100 meters to the turn, and the road we were on, which was really sketchy, had this really weird turn. You couldn't see around, so the wind was picking up, so you wouldn't be able to hear it either. So we just wanted to run to get off that road. We are off that main road. Guys, we are 1 kilometer from Pripyat. We're just in the middle of the woods right now, just resting because we had to hike that very quickly. Oh man, we're exhausted. Tell Michelle we gotta be quick over the fence. Cut through the woods. Cut through the woods. Go. We'll go in this building. Come on, we gotta keep moving. I don't know if those were wild dogs or guard dogs. Either way, they were running after us. Just push through it and push through it. I know it sucks. Under. Watch your step. Don't trip.
Let's just listen.
Yes.
Check that flat.
We were successful. And when we all got on top of that roof and we could see the reactor and we saw the entire city, it's like a huge weight had been lifted off your chest. That's all I can say. I was so happy. I can't even find words to describe how incredible this place is. Incredible how nature can just reclaim something in 35 years. And I mean, it's perfect. The sunset, the weather, the birds, the moon. It's incredible that we're actually standing in a city, what was once a city, to home to almost 70,000 people at one point. It is so silent when there's no electricity, there's no people, there's no cars. These people told they'd return in a few weeks to never come back to this place, ever. That's Reactor 4, that dome. That's the sarcophagus that sits over it. That over there is Duga. That's where we were caught. I know this is so stupid. To some, this is an abandoned city. But to me, this is an accomplishment. I've been planning this for years. I've been wanting to do this for over a decade. You know, I'm in my 20s, so I'm not that old. What an incredible journey this has been so far. And I'm very, very happy I can bring you guys, and I can show you, I can share this with you guys. 0.24. So it might not be as radioactive as you guys think. All of the odds were against us. I really can't stress that. And we still managed to do it. And that's such a rewarding feeling. Your goal's not always gonna happen on the first try. You have to keep trying. You have to. Failure's only definite if you don't keep trying. You can't give up if you want something. If you give up, you fail. If you try, there's always a chance. If we had listened to our fear of failing, of it being a complete waste of time, this whole documentary wouldn't even been possible, because I wouldn't have had a story to tell you, and I would have still sat here and been empty. We never did that, we never tried. Wow. You know what? It's actually taller than I thought. I think I see my route up. Wow. Here I am. Get to the top. Chernobyl. Wow. Those are the cranes. People swimming. It's awesome, man. Yeah. Even if your goal isn't Pripyat or the zone, in life, if you want something, you have to go out and get it. Make what you want to happen a reality. Life is too short to be waiting around.
Suddenly I see, this is what I want to be. Suddenly I see, why the hell you mean so much to me.